she'll be able to win this wrong. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she's just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like she's whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like she's whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Yeah, that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. She's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that she'll be able to win this wrong. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she's just gotta stop all the
Imagine running a marathon, a whopping 26.2 miles on the rockiest plains in the blistering heat to make it across the finish line and hear, "Great job! Now do it again tomorrow." You would look at them puzzled while on the verge of passing out. But yet somehow you run another marathon the next day. This time, your legs are cramping, your body is fatigued, and as you hobble across the finish line, you hear, "Awesome job! Now do it again." Gasping for air, you reply, "I'm so tired." And ever so smoothly, you hear, "That's okay. Just push through." This is what Black women hear all the time as they continue to take on more responsibilities with less help at the destruction of their mental and physical health.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode episode of Sisters Talking. Let me get this music down a little bit. I am so glad that you guys are joining us. This is a really, really important topic that we are about to discuss today. And I am joined by two of my sisters, Letha and Monica. Two of our other sisters had to exercise some self care. That's what we're talking about. So, self care is absolutely important. And we need to make sure that we are prioritizing ourselves before we prioritize anything or anybody else. All right, so to my left, right, one of my sides, you'll see Letha and then Monica. As we get started, before we get started, I wanted to make a point and throw a disclaimer in there that the conversation that we are about to have today or tonight, wherever you are in the world, I'm in Japan, so we are global. The opinions expressed here today are not meant to replace any professional healthcare providers' duties. So if you need help, please, please, please do not take our advice as your help. Also, the opinions expressed here and the information shared is not endorsed by Dr. Kita. That video was just for informational purposes only, or TEDx and TED Talks. None of that is related to this conversation. I just threw that in there because I thought that it was really relevant to the topic today. So without further ado, we're going to start with Letha. And Letha, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at right now, and just let us know. We're gonna chat it up. Hold on, Letha. Let me see if I can. Okay, go ahead, Letha.
Yeah, the music is kind of loud. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Letha Averett, and I reside in Georgia. I am a 25-year veteran educator. I am a newly published author of the book, The Unforced Rhythms of Grace. Let me see, what else you want me to share, Alon? Anything else?
We'll talk about.
I made it short and sweet. Yeah,
we'll talk. We'll talk about your
later.
book later, because your book is absolutely phenomenal, and it really speaks to what we're talking about today. So thank you so much, Letha. All right, and we are joined by Monica. Monica, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, who you are.
I am Monica Lanton. I am currently I'm living outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I am what I do for a living as far as mental health. I am a intervention specialist, school social worker at the middle school level. Basically, what that is getting doing clinical case management, getting mental health services for students and families for diagnosed and undiagnosed mental health issues. I do crisis counseling. I do assessments and get services for students who might be misusing, or substance abuse problems. In a nutshell, mama of three, grandmama of one. Um, that's it in a nutshell. I'm sure I could go on and on, but and you're my cousin.
Yes. Yes, not only are we sisters, but we cousins. Yes.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Monica. So let me tell y'all a little bit about myself. So I am here in Japan. I am an educator. I'm a high school teacher of 17 plus years. I'm also a mother of two adult sons, grandmother of none. And
Okay.
and I'm a doggy mom. I have a pet. I have a little
Yes.
toy poodle,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
am a pet mom too. And I'm also a black woman, and
Mm.
so I am pretty much able to talk about my own experiences as it relates to the necessity of mental health and mental health services. Just
Mhm.
just talking about the importance of it. So Um, cool. All right. Well, let's get started, ladies. So the first question that we're going to address today, and you guys go ahead and put your questions and comments in the chat. Let me give me just a second so I can get my. I want to be able to respond to you guys. Um, shut your mouth to side. All right, let me pull up my. Here we go. All right, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about what is mental health? What is women's mental health? Because oftentimes we hear about mental health and is there a difference between women's mental health and men's mental health? Uh, and then we're going to talk more about black women's mental health because that's the topic for today. So, what is women's mental health to you guys? What do y'all? How do you define that?
It's like your overall
Uh oh.
well-being. You hear me?
Can y'all hear?
Overall well. Yes.
Mhm.
Can you hear?
I can.
Can you hear?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, like your overall well-being of your mind
Mm-hmm.
would be my definition of mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Monica?
I was thinking about it, and mental health. When you think of mental, you point to your mind, your head. But a lot of times, mental health, and I like the term leaning into mental wellness, is about this, and I'm pointing to my chest, the
Mm-hmm.
feelings, and how pain shows up. It shows up in the body, but it's energy,
Mm-hmm.
and and you if you're on this plane, if you're on this planet, you're going to have some ailment physically, and you're going to have some ailment with the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
mental health, illnesses. And so um, it's for me, it's energy. And it's something that's, if you're gonna live here, you're gonna experience it, and
Yeah.
um, I was about to answer the second question, but you haven't answered that. You haven't asked about men and women yet. So
No. Yeah, I agree. I think women's mental
yeah.
health is it's us, whatever impacts us mentally, emotionally, and we know that it impacts us physically. But I think women's
Yeah.
mental health is different from other people's mental health, especially Black women's mental health, because we have
Mhm.
different things that we have to deal with. Um, and I think we're going to delve into that in one of our other questions. But okay, so we're cool. In the chat, you guys, tell me or tell us, what do y'all define women's mental health as? Because it's something totally different to everybody. Let me see. Somebody say my volume needs to be turned up. Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
I can hear
Mhm.
you.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next question. Do y'all think mental health issues are hereditary? That's a big one.
Um, I think a lot of times, yeah, we're predisposed. For instance, with substance abuse,
Mm-hmm.
they've done research that it is genetic, that you have the potential to have that brain to light up if the switch is flipped. Not
Oh, for
necessarily
real?
that you're going to have a substance abuse issue, but it can be. For instance, for myself, my father was an alcoholic,
Mm-hmm.
and his mother was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And so it absolutely, for that particular mental health issue or disease, it absolutely is hereditary. Like I said, though, environment is everything. Is it switch flipped on where people begin to, when you're going to have when you experience a mental health issue, do you inappropriately do things to deal? A lot of
Mm.
times we do with substance abuse. And so, how we, the the switch probably is going to be flipped, but how we decide to do,
How we deal with it.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Wow. What about you, Letha? You think it's hereditary?
I do. I think it is hereditary. I think it's hereditary. I think that there are things that go on in families, and if it's not uh, brought to light and talked about and
Yes.
get help for,
Mm-hmm.
then that cycle continues.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I was listening to a TED talk the other day from the sister Charlotte Meadows, and she brought up the fact that, and this is probably going into one of the other questions, that growing up, it was like what goes on in the house stays in the
Stay.
house.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
talk about this. Don't talk about the. You know what I mean? So think about that. If you are one that has these, some mental challenges or
Mm-hmm.
some issues, and you're being told that, you're being fed that, you're suppressing that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're not being one to be able to talk about it to other people, and it's just staying there.
Yeah.
So, and if you're not getting the proper help for that, that cycle continues, it continues, and it continues.
Yeah. Yeah. And and you know what? I believe that you have a predisposition to certain things by just experience, I think. Because sometimes, as a math teacher, I've heard people say, well, I wasn't good at math, so the expectation is
Right.
that their child is not going to be good at math. So I don't know whether that's something that is actually hereditary, or whether it is something that a person says, okay, well, my mother was this way, or my father was this way, or whatever. But I do believe that there is a chemical relationship between behaviors and mental health, between family and mental health. I believe that too. But wow, wow, that's
And I think
interesting.
what you all are both hitting on is that it's patterns, that
Right.
essentially that we keep repeating in all families. I don't care
Right.
which family you have, there are patterns that keep repeating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the the goal is to interrupt the pattern.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and what Letha was saying with secrets,
Mm-hmm.
deciding that that is not a thing any longer,
Mm-hmm.
helps to interrupt the pattern.
Yeah,
Putting it on the table,
Changing the
yeah,
speaking
narrative.
it, dealing with it,
Changing the
talking about
narrative.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. Okay, hold on. Somebody's saying my volume needs. All right, is my volume good now? Uh oh. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go to the next question. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Are mental health issues for women of color on the rise? What do y'all think about that? Do you think that, I know that with a lot of things that we've been going through just globally, and we cannot mention the word because we will get slashed off of Facebook, but
Right.
with a lot of things that's going on in our society, do you think that our issues, are you seeing a rise in our issues mentally?
I don't think we're seeing a rise in them. I think we're seeing a rise in people speaking about them.
Oh,
I think
that part.
with millennials, generation millennial and generation Z's have no problem with saying, "I am in trouble. You have your foot on my neck. Please get it off." I need to talk to somebody. And by the way, I have this, that, and the third. I think the fact that they are open with it, there is no stigma connected to it. And so it seems to be maybe that there is a uptick or an increase. It's just that people are not trying to not speak about it any longer. I know, especially with, my kids, they're like, nope, we're going to talk about this. This is what this is, mom. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I wasn't used to that. And I can still see my grandmother, you don't talk about that. We go back to what we saying with the secrets, you keep it in the house. It's
Mm-hmm.
no longer a thing. Social media has exploded that, and everybody's getting their 15 minutes of fame, and quite literally people are on clout with their mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. Situation.
Right. And they letting the world know, look, this is not,
Yes.
I'm not good. I'm not good right
Right.
now. And
Right. Yes.
yeah, I don't think it's on the rise either. I think it's things that have always been there because, even think
Yes.
back to our own families back in the day, you know, there were you people had issues. We just
No.
never attached a label to it or recognized it as a mental health issue. We always put it off, especially in our culture. We say, "Oh, a line has always been that way. That's just a line." Okay, if it's a mental health issue, it's a mental health issue. Let's
Exactly.
call a thing a
Exactly.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so
Yes.
we just don't, you know, typically in our culture we just don't do that. But it's changing. It's changing, and I'm glad that it's changing. What do you
Yeah.
think,
Me
Letha?
too.
Do you think they're on the rise or?
I don't know. Initially I kind of thought they were on the rise, but it could be just those issues have always been there. I think now that there are different platforms and social media, so things are out there more prevalent than they were when I was growing up. So those, I don't know, I think those issues have always been there,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth with that question.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
Well, I think with Letha, when you mentioned social media, that
Yes.
the bullying, I
Right.
don't know if that we experienced the bullying, and then the self-esteem piece, when you have
Right.
to have this reality virtual life and you see everybody have these wonderful lives there at the Vegas with the parties, popping bottles or whatever they're doing, and expensive clothing and purses and bags, and look at my life. What do I have?
Right.
Or you get on and you say something, you think that you have did a wonderful thing, or you're looking fabulous, and somebody will have a horrible comment,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on your post or your picture. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if we didn't experience that. I don't even
No.
know what that is about,
Right.
right? You could do it privately, have your low self-esteem moment all alone.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have an entire audience, to see and focus on. That's new.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, and the thing about and we can get on this a little later, but I guess we can talk about it. Social social media and virtual bullying. I didn't know that was there are people who are actually impacted by what happens on social media and consider that to be a situation where okay, this person is bullying me or whatever, and we see that because we're teachers, so we know
Hmm.
exactly what that
Right.
sounds like in terms of how it impacts kids and students. So, but that yeah, you're right. Social media has brought a light to a lot of the things that people have been going through, and of course, like you said, people have this appearance of everything being
Mhm.
okay on social media. Oh yeah, they living their best life,
Mhm.
And
when behind closed doors you have no idea what's going on. You really don't. So,
people post what they want. They post that glamorous side, or that everything is
Mhm.
okay, and
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
hard for someone that can't. Like I mean, even with my children, I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, and I'm like, you see all these pictures. This person is traveling here. This person is traveling there, and they have this and they have that. I people post what they want to post. They want you to see
Oh yeah.
certain sides. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Wow. All right, ladies, we are trucking right along. Y'all, in the comments, let us know whether you think mental health for women of color is on the rise. Let me see. Hold on. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Miss Joyner. Hi, Lashonda. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Michelle, Soror. Thank you for tuning in. I was gonna try to get your comments up on the screen. I cannot get them, y'all. Just bear with me. Look, we in this thing together, so no stress, no stress, no stress at all. All right.
You're very courageous, cousin.
Uh, okay.
Mhm.
Why do y'all think? Thank you, darling. Why do you think women's mental health is important to everyone? And let's talk about black women because we're talking about black women today. So, why do you think our mental health is
Mm.
important to everybody? Just think about that for a minute, and y'all put your comments in the chat and let us know why you think black women's mental health is important to everybody.
And you say everybody, you mean
Everybody around them, everybody around them, the culture, your
the culture,
families. Why?
the
Why
people
do you?
they work with.
Yes, everybody, anybody they're connected to. Why do you think it's important? Directly and indirectly connected to.
Not more important, but just important.
Either whatever you think.
Because I think
Not
that
more important because everybody's
not
mental
more
health is
important,
important.
right? I think it's important. Black women's mental health important as far as how. I mean, what is our? I'm thinking about. I'm trying to figure out, suss out the question. What our role, how we're perceived as our role in the community, in at large. And a lot of times there's the trope. I'm gonna, the strong black woman and the wise and the wisdom. We're so, mother wits, and if you just look on any television program, that's the one that know the story and how it's going to end, and I should have
Mm-hmm.
told, that sort of thing. So that's a trope, though. I think that people need to begin to, I don't know, understand that our mental health is just, we are in this boat just like everybody else is, and that
Mm.
we need the support because that strong black woman trope, people think, oh, they can handle it. I don't know if you or Alita said it, that they're fine. Y'all don't need that, and people don't try to come check for you.
Just like in the
Are
video.
you okay?
Yes. Okay, you see
They
me
don't
crossing my
come.
arms, right?
So they won't check on you because, oh, they got this because they're black women and they're so strong, and they're strong word. We're human, and
Right.
we do need people to check on us. So I don't know. I think that's why the question kind of stumped me, because I think basically that's a part of. I think when I talk to my daughters, they say, I think what they're saying is they're like, we're at the bottom, but what they're saying is folks don't look at us as something that needs to be taken care of or protected,
Right.
or
Right.
cared for, looked after, put on, put on a pedestal
Mm-hmm.
because we're strong. So I mean, and that affects your mental health. I mean, it takes its toll, and I do. We're still here though,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know about, but how our health outcomes though connected to that and the whole plethora of things. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That part. Because we had a couple people to chime in. Hi, Renee. We're gonna get to some questions in just a second, you guys. Um, but yeah, I think our mental health is important to everyone around us and everybody connected to us because we have been the backbone. Not that we have to be, but we have been. And historically, we were placed in that role. Historically, we were responsible for, feeding the master's kids, taking care of their families, and taking care of our families too. And there was no time, at no point, who was taking care of her. You see what I'm saying? There was nobody there. So if we talk about genetics and heredity, let's go there. Um, that's something that was kind of just thrown on us. That was thrown on us. Now, when we go back to the continent, if you look at how things are done on the continent, we say, oh, this is a very misogynistic society. The man is doing this and the man does that and the woman can't do this. Now, are there extremes? Yes, there are extremes to everything. But when you see a man taking care of his woman and making sure that she's okay, that's not a bad thing. Because if she's okay, what's the saying? Happy wife, happy life.
Happy life.
If she's taken care of, then everybody else is taken care of. So we have been charged right now with actually taking the responsibility of our own mental health because nobody else is concerned about that. So I think that if we fall apart, baby, a whole lot will fall apart. A whole lot of things. How many times have we seen our parents or our mothers decide they're not going to get out the bed that day because they're just tired? Then what happens? The whole house run amok. The whole house runs amok. And what if you decide on your work at your workplace, the superwoman that you are, you decide at your workplace, okay, I'm taking a mental health break. You get 99,000 text messages about, okay, well, where's this? Where's that? Wait a minute. I'm getting one paycheck. One. And I'm not talking about me because I'm good. But for our sisters out there, it's like, when you get a time to stop and take a break? You know what I'm saying?
But we
So
have to
I
get
think,
comfortable in we have to get comfortable to know that it's okay to stop and take a break. You know, we gotta we we just you've got to just make time for that self care. You've got to.
give ourselves
Gotta make time.
permission.
There you go. Give yourself permission. And at the end of the day, like you say, you gave the scenario. You stay in bed all day. We got to get to the point where what, I need to stay in the bed all day. And really, what's really going to happen? Maybe the clothes won't get washed. Food may not get cooked or whatever. We may do it. It may happen a little bit later, but we got to make that time to do what we need to do for ourselves.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the chat, I don't know if you have to click a permission in order to have your comments come through. If you do, please give ECAM permission to accept your comments. Okay, so LaShonda says, I believe that it's not on the rise because Black women are more educated these days and seeking the support needed and making more informed decisions. So that was back to our previous question. And then so Renee says it's always been there as an issue, but there's more awareness and support, and we've evolved to know that you can pray and seek support. Yes, because at some point, back in the day, we didn't know that there was support for us. We didn't
Right.
know, or we didn't trust
But
the support.
the fact that you're having this conversation
Yes.
is
Yes.
it's like this is new and this is different and it's happening
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a plus and we're moving in the right direction.
I think
I
so
believe
too.
that.
I think so
I
too.
believe that we got some work to do, or what have you, but we're moving in the right direction with that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, because we really need it. All right, let me get to our next question. How have our mental health issues been addressed historically? And I think we talked about that a little bit, but if y'all want to expound on that.
Black church,
Yep, Renee just dropped
go
the thing in
go
the
go pray,
mm-hmm,
go pray on it.
She
I mean,
said,
and it was a
and seek
coping
help.
mechanism,
Yes.
and then seek help. Um, but seek help was not a part of the conversation. it was that was what
Right.
we depended on, but it was historically that's what we had. That's all we had, you know. I mean, and that's what was allowed to, I guess, our ancestors at the slave house was church. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was something that was uplifting. It was about love, something that was the opposite of fear and hatred. So I, you know, you get it absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, but the the actual the piece about and then I want to say this too. Historically, it was looked at as if you have a mental issue. It's been my experience. I don't
Yes.
want to put it out on everybody that when you have a mental health issue, you're weak. You're
Oh,
not. You know, we strong. But no,
it
go
takes
work that
strength
one out
to
and then go pray
admit.
on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
It
takes
takes
strength
strength
to
to admit
admit
that.
that you got something going on. You know, especially if you're not all you like. I don't have it all together today. That that's
And
But
that's
that's
a lot.
historically,
okay.
were we allowed to say that historically?
No,
Yeah. No.
there was no
No.
space for it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
What you
think
think,
that's how,
Letha?
you know,
Yeah, Letha. What do you think about that?
I
Do
mean,
you think?
I
Go, baby.
well, pretty much like I said earlier, that it was taboo back in the day, um, and it was what goes on in the house. If you're talking about whatever, if it stays in the house. You don't
Mm-hmm.
go out and you talk to people down the street about what's going on.
Right.
So I'm glad now that I think that we've kind of come out of that. And there are resources out there. You can talk to someone about your mental issues. And it's kind of like one of those things. Like I think about if someone were to sit down with you and share with you, that they have found a lump in their breast or whatever, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you would definitely tell that friend, okay, well, what's the plan? We're gonna go see a doctor. We're gonna go do this. You're gonna go do that. It's
Right.
the same thing. It's the same thing when we talk about our mental health. So we've got to be that uh, person that goes and encourages each other that it's okay. It's okay. We so many times before back in the past it was looked upon, you know, taboo. There's something wrong with you. Whatever it is you feeling, you better suppress it. You better not tell nobody because they gonna think this, they gonna think
Yeah.
that. You know. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're starting to kind of get away from that. But
What do you think about that part where do y'all ever remember being told don't let folks down at your job know that
yep.
you're not feeling good today? What you mean you're not feeling good today?
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Keita said in the intro video, she said just push through. We're always told just push through. That's that's what we're told. So,
right. And then you didn't even have to be told that. You internalized it. I know I
mhm.
did. No one didn't have to tell me at all. I was like, I got to get up. I got to do that. I can't miss. I can't miss a day. And then how I would feel just thinking about calling in, the whole thought of it. It's go on and do it. And, you know, so no one had to say, what are you doing or whatever. It was
Yeah.
already there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's already
Yeah.
there.
And that's so sad that you're not allowed
It is.
to admit that you're in pain, but that's the way it's been. But, we're changing that. We are changing that because we're writing our own narratives.
Narrative.
All righty, we are almost done. Why do you think we're not why aren't we seeking help for our mental health? What do you think are some barriers, or are there any barriers to us seeking help?
I think there might be a perception of access.
Mm,
Um, a lot of times people want to, I think they might want to go and speak to somebody and do that session and have that talk time, but they want somebody that they feel like they're going to relate to. Will I be able to find somebody that looks like me, has the same experience as me, probably had the same cultural background as me? And a lot of times it is a barrier in finding that type of person. And like I said, the access, I think, is one of the reasons why we're not doing it. And then there may be still a stigma culturally,
You think so?
still.
I think so too.
I think just a little bit. Yeah. Yes.
Really?
And if you're not going to talk about, I think with young folks, it depends on the age. As you
Yes,
skew
I was gonna
older,
say that.
yes.
Right, right.
Younger
Older,
folks don't have a
like,
problem
yeah,
with it, but older folks is
right. Yeah.
not going to talk
Yeah.
about it. Going to keep it
Right.
under,
Because it's
which
family
is not good.
business.
It's family business.
What okay, so let's go back to the Medea. Medea say whatever's covered up can't heal.
So true.
I'm
It don't
you know, a
heal.
lot of people talk about Tyler Perry, but we ain't talking about him. But whatever's covered up, whatever's covered up can't heal. And that's
It
true.
don't heal.
Biologically, emotionally, it can't. It can't. Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people. Hurt
Yes.
Yes,
people
they do.
hurt people.
They
Yes.
do.
Yes. And you wonder why people are behaving a certain way. That's because they're in pain.
Right.
That's
They're in
And I
right.
pain.
think, because we are educators, we tend to be empathetic, and we put ourselves in the place of those of others a lot, a lot.
Right.
And we could go on and on about the stress level of an educator, but we're not going there today. But
Different show.
because we
Mm-mm.
do carry the weight of our babies, our colleagues with
Right.
us, so we see things differently. But I think um we aren't I think, like you said, it's stigmatized in some instances, not as much as before, but it is stigmatized when you decide to seek medical or help. But another thing is, we don't some of us don't prioritize mental health, seeking help for mental health. We
Yeah.
don't prioritize it. Oh yeah, I know I need to go talk to somebody. I go, yeah, I'll make an appointment next week, and next week never comes.
Right.
Right. And we prioritize it because it's just how this is what we do. This is how it's always been. This is how I act. This is how my mama act. This is how my grandmama act. This is part of who we are. So why would I make that a priority since it's, a part of it? And like Letha was saying, to go back to that, to loop about the hurt people. We're from the south side of Chicago. You see a little child running down the street with a gun in their hands. Um, hurt hurt person hurting people, and so many levels of mental health are going on there. I don't
Right.
What do you think about your life? Nothing at 13 or 14, hurting to hurt someone else. And like I said, since it's just part of who we are, part of, the energy that's around us. There's nothing different. I mean, how do you work that out? How do you if you don't understand that this is not normal, but this is your normal,
Oh,
how do you begin to
wait, say that. We
prioritize
need a
it?
T-shirt for that. Say that again.
This is not normal, but this is your normal.
Mm.
How do you begin to prioritize that? Right? How does that even begin a conversation? Because if you come in and you're talking to me, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is how we do things.
Yeah.
This is how it's always been.
So is that a case of you don't know what you don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just supposed to be in this misery or this hurt. This is,
Yeah.
you walk around. Well, I got that backache. I had that too. Oh yeah, my mama had that backache too.
Backache.
Mhm.
Right.
And the wind blowing. I get it. She did it. The air conditioner was on too long. Same with the mental health. Yeah, I got that too. But that the blues or whatever. Yeah, we all had that.
Right.
What's the
So
point?
so brush it off. You're not. There's nothing special about that. That's what we have. That's what we go through. Um.
And so no priority.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, if you don't mind, let's look at. So Lashonda said something here. She said the older generation. Okay, so let me go back to Renee. Renee said prayer and church is
Hmm.
necessary. Um, and there's something that says, I don't know if it's in the Bible, so don't think I'm quoting the Bible if I'm messing up. But faith without works is dead. You can have all the faith in the world that you gonna be all right. Oh, she gonna be all right. She gonna be all right. Let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. Okay, and nobody is going to check on her. Nobody's taking a, saying, sis, we need for you to go to the hospital or go to the doctor. Nobody's talking about that. LaShonda said, the older generation is still thinking the same and has not evolved. It's important for our generation to reach back and break these cycles and be there for the next generations to come. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Interrupt the pattern. Interrupt the pattern.
Yeah, yeah. Letha, slide over a little bit to your
Okay.
right.
Can you see me now? I'm sorry, there was an
Other
Amber
way.
alert on my phone.
Well, that
So,
Amber Alert kicked your
I,
microphone up too.
yeah, it did. Because I mean, I didn't hear any of the conversations of what y'all were just talking about just now. So,
Oh God,
yeah,
that's funny.
Well, I hope the baby's okay. Oh,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
all right. Letha, did you want to chime in on this one? Or we good?
Uh, no, I'm good. I'm good. We can go on to the next one.
Okay. And this is actually the very last question, and hopefully you guys can provide some resources that you know of. What resources are there to support women of color? And the reason why I specify women of color, to circle back around to what Monica said. Monica said that oftentimes, we're looking for somebody who looks like us. And I know for
Right.
me, that's a priority for me. Not to negate the validity or the professional capabilities of someone who does not look like me, but I feel like somebody who looks like me understands the struggles, especially if it's a woman. I can go there.
Right.
A woman, I think, another black woman, I could sit down and talk to her about things, or even if I had a look on my face without even speaking, my nonverbal cues can tell her a lot more, or I would think that it could tell her a lot more, of course after vetting, than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If I
Right.
sit like this on her couch and she asks me a question and I go, that means something to her.
Right.
That means something to her. To somebody else, they might think I just had a nervous twitch or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that practitioner could dig deeper just based on my response to that question. So what do y'all
So
think
would you
about that?
not? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So would you not reach out to someone if there was not a healthcare provider in your area that could deal with mental health issues? If that person were not of color, would you just back off, or what? So what are you saying? Is it best to? You see what I'm saying? What is it best to? And I know we're talking about a lot of people have that mindset. Okay, well, if it's not an African American um, professional that can help me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to seek the service.
Mm-hmm. Um,
It's an
no,
excuse.
You
no.
think it's an excuse?
It's
I
a,
was gonna say
You
that.
think
it could
so?
be.
Well,
I
see, I
mean,
I
it's
wouldn't refrain from getting help. Now, if I know I needed the help, and the only people who are around are people who don't look like me, I'm gonna talk to somebody.
Right.
I would like
Yeah,
to
I
think that I
agree.
would.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to think that I would. But we all over the place. So
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
no, but no,
Okay.
no, no. I get your point. I do get your point. Monica says it's an
but
excuse.
I do, but I do think the conversation needs to be had because I mean, you're right, Alana. People do think that, and then what Letha is saying is true, though. Um, when you're hurting, I mean, I do think we need to be more open. I think it's a good thing that if you're seeking help, period. So
Right.
I don't want to put that down, but at the same time, if you're hurting, yeah, try it. Now, what I will say this with therapy, sometimes it takes two or three. times to figure out if this individual, if you all are gelling, if you all are connecting, if what they're saying and how the skill sets that they're trying to teach you are resonating with you. It might take to, okay, this individual is not working out. A lot of times that happens with, and it can happen that you can have somebody that's the same ethnic background as you and it not be productive. That's also a thing as well.
Yes.
So I've seen that as well. I mean, so you don't want. I know that's what people do think when, because especially if you've never experienced it and you've come from a background that it's not really upon as something to do, then that's where you're going to go. The comfort level is going to go with something about somebody that looks like me. At least if I'm going to do something I've never done, this is something different and new and scary, and at least I have that piece, right? And so I get why people do that. And a lot of times there is access. Again, you won't find folks that look like, depending on what area. Like I live about 40, 50 miles northwest of Charlotte.
Mhm.
It's kind of a struggle. You'll be on the struggle bus trying to find somebody that looked like myself if you needed some type of care like that.
Mhm.
You have to be hooked in pretty much, to find somebody that looks like yourself. If you're hurt, go
Uh-oh.
get the help and keep asking and keep asking and okay, this is not it. Keep asking and keep asking.
Yeah. 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 I think that's true. And just personally, I do know that I need to be more open-minded um, about. I think somebody's whose background is that?
Hold on 1 second. It might be mine.
Sound like somebody moving.
Does it sound like, is it that noisy? Just
I don't mean to laugh. Um, but anywho, y'all look, we just keeping it
I am
real.
so sorry.
We keeping it real. Don't look all the
That's
frilly
right.
fluff. This is real life, y'all.
I'm gonna have a mental health issue right now
Now,
for the people to see somebody come and help me.
I said somebody.
and some other resources too. I mean, I'm loving the conversation of professional help, but there's some things too that you can do at home, like yoga and some self meditation and
Yeah.
things like that are also support as
Yeah.
well. I think the talking to someone, the therapy side is definitely key, but then there are some other components that go hand in hand.
Yeah. And you know what? So Michelle in the chat, she mentioned, oh, okay. So Miss Joyner did tell me that my quote was right. It was in the Bible. So I was good on that.
Good.
But Michelle said, I think we need to be a resource to each other. We will
Yes,
share information about hairstyles, sales,
That's right.
spas,
that's
That's
but
right.
not necessarily about a counselor or a therapist who may have helped them, or the
That's right.
fact that you even sought help.
Right.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
She's so right about
Ooh.
that. We're not gonna talk about that.
absolutely.
We don't say,
Right.
"Oh, girl, look, I had this good therapist that then because your friends and well, maybe not your friends, your real friends won't look at you sideways, but if you talk to other folks, then they say, I thought she had it all together." When talking to a therapist don't mean you don't have it all together. You
Okay.
are
Right.
together if you get a
Right.
therapist. I think
Right.
that's just my opinion. Yeah.
She don't have it all together. That I don't know. That just
Right.
hit me wrong.
Right.
So somebody that's suffering from diabetes. No one says that.
No.
She don't
Okay.
have it all together.
Yeah.
No one says that. No
No,
one
they
says that.
don't.
Just like you need to get help. What can we do? How can I support you? There's not that, and it's not. No, there's no difference. It's just that it's this part that's hurting instead of some physical ailment.
Right.
Right.
Hi, Darren. So our cousin is in the chat. He just joined us. And LaShonda, she said self-reflection, journaling,
Hmm.
Bible study and exercise. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm doing this thing called the Miracle Morning. I'm reading this book called the
Oh
Miracle
yeah.
Morning, and we're going to talk more about Letha's book too. But I'm reading this book by Hal Elrod called The Miracle Morning. No, I'm not getting paid for this. This might be a free endorsement for him, but but anywho, this book actually gives you 6 activities to perform to get your day started. One of them is reflection. Um, no, no, meditation. Um, Let me not try to remember it. Let me go to my little calendar. I will tell you exactly what it is. But it's 6 things that are very, very powerful that impact your day. Exercise, meditation. Um,
Journaling.
yes, re- journaling.
Journaling.
What's the other one? Uh,
Oh goodness.
exercise. If y'all know in the chat, it's called the Miracle Morning. I
The
think I got it.
thing is to have a set of things to do. You don't have to be
Yes.
as
Yes.
rigid as to what he's having, but
Oh,
to
I
have
got it.
something. Yes. Okay.
Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. Sorry. Look, I'm excited about this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so silence, which is your meditation piece.
Yes.
Hmm.
Reading for 10 minutes. And I just do mine for 10 minutes, but after you start, you can extend it however you see fit. Affirmations,
Yes.
Affirmation.
visualization,
Hmm.
journaling, and exercise.
Hmm.
So that's silence, which is meditation, reading, affirmation, visualization, journaling, and exercise. And when I tell you, it has actually been transformational for me, and I'm only like in week 3,
Okay.
but and I'm not a morning person. Monica already know I'm not a morning person.
No.
Now I will be up
Vampire.
to the crack of dawn
With the
at night.
vampires. Yes.
See, I
Hmm.
had to do a little something, something, and it's still probably not together, uh, but
You're
yeah.
fine.
So okay, but yeah, so that's what I'm reading, and that's been helping me a lot.
I love
I
it.
think daily
I love
daily habits and routines are absolutely, it's a spirit thing as well.
it. Right.
Spiritual. And it's not necessarily, you don't have to, do what he's saying, but if it's your morning coffee that you have to have, then you turn your
Right.
shower on. You tell the kids, do not touch the door. I used to tell my kids, don't knock on my door for this first 30 minutes. I need this paper
Mm.
sign. Well, you're not going on the field trip today because this 30 minutes is mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for
Whatever that
you.
is. Yes, well, I didn't know that's what I was doing, but you need that time every day, and it's something that gets you going, and it is daily habits and routines, particularly in the morning, to have
Right.
something, whatever that is for you. It's
Right.
amazing.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
What
And I
Hmm.
about you?
love what you said,
Mm-hmm.
the meditation, and I just want to say the meditation and yoga are good for, particularly yoga trauma.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
It's a trauma informed intervention. It
Mm.
Really?
is.
I didn't
It
know that.
is. Yes. Yes, it is. I have some clinicians that come in and work with some of the kids in the school, and they do meditation and some as much yoga as you can do in one of our classrooms, one on one with the kids. Yes, it's trauma informed. Exactly. They have sound. With getting in touch, getting out of your head and getting in your body. Right. Getting in your body. Right,
Wow.
and getting out of your head. Right, because what happens with trauma, you are in the lizard brain, you're fight or flight. You're not making any kinds of higher level decisions, and so get out your head, get in your body,
Wow.
and breathe. Yeah,
And that's why a
so you
lot of
can do
our
some stuff on
students
your
don't.
own.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sorry for jumping in there
No, go
like that,
ahead. I'm
but
sorry.
girl, honey, I'm kind of excited about this. That's why a lot of our students have issues, and I've read in educational journals, in a lot of the education journals, they talk about teachers who have utilized yoga and
Hmm.
meditation within the
Hmm.
day, throughout the day,
Mm.
in order to
Hmm.
recenter their students. Now, of
That's
course,
right.
there are limitations in terms of, like, a spiritual aspect of that, but there's nothing wrong with having some sort of time, like a little time, a study break. Just let's
Right.
take a break.
Hmm.
And I
Yes,
remember
yes.
doing this with my students because in my class, and I've had students to even tell me they like the fact that I would play smooth jazz or mellow music
Right.
during the class period, because that was
Right.
my thing.
Mhm. Right.
And I would even get song requests, but you know, it was mellow jazz. It was jazz. That's what was wrong. And
Mellow jazz.
yes, yes. So the kids like that. And then also one thing that I would do, let me see. Um, hopefully I don't get in trouble. But one of the things I would do was I would let the kids lay their heads down for like a little break.
Mhm.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Just a couple, couple minutes. Everybody. Well, Miss Wall, I don't want to lay my head down. Okay, but you laying your head down right now. Just lay it there. Just lay it down. Put it on your arm. This desk is dirty. Any excuse. You know what I'm saying? Just lay your head down. But that's something that the kids, they love that. And
Right.
adults, we have to realize that we need that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
So Miss
Yeah.
Letha, did you want to chime in
Yeah.
before we start talking about your fantastic book?
But other resources,
Yeah.
like I said, you know, definitely, I think it starts with just talking and getting out and talking to someone and knowing that there is help and you are not an island by yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I would say therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to a therapist. There, like Monica's mentioned, there are tons of resources out there. Starting with Google, just Google, you know, and it'll come up. Tons and tons of therapists or whatever. But um, and going back to definitely, I think carving out that time in your day to do some type of self care.
Mm-hmm.
If it's meditation, if it's putting your essential oils in your diffuser and having some green tea, um, you know, those types of things. I think it starts from there.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna be full transparency, and y'all know me very well. I am not the type of person who will allow myself enough time to sit in a bathtub. I shower, and I will take a shower, and I will jump in and time that shower, because I got stuff to do. But to actually
Mm-hmm.
sit, I think I could probably count the number of times that I've done that, where I will sit,
Mhm.
and we've talked about this before, where I'll sit in the tub and have my glass of wine. Y'all know I got to have the wine, then the jazz music playing, and some candles. I think I probably can count that on one hand within the last 8 years. For real, for real. And that is not
Well,
good.
me too.
Um,
No, it's not. Me too.
but do you think that because we are educators and I look at it sometimes too that we're on this regimented schedule. We got to do this, 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 this. I mean, we're told to, well, not told, but you have your schedule. You
The
got to go to the
expectation.
bathroom at this time. You got to do this at this time. So
Oh.
we bring that home and we think that, like you said, you take a quick shower, but you don't save that time to take a nice hot bath and just sit back and relax and just enjoy the moment. That we're on that regimen. I mean, I see it in myself too, and I'm trying to get better at that. Just stop, smell coffee for a minute, take time for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about skipping.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
agree
don't
with
know.
that. I agree with that, and I have to get better with that, and that comes with practice.
Yes.
Ladies, let me jump into the chat real quick. So, Miss Joyner, she said she's not a morning person either. Team not being a morning person. Team no mornings. But she also said that she exercises in the tub, and that's
Hmm.
whatever your thing is. Yes, she says she relaxes with candles and plays gospel music, and that's good because we
I
gotta
love it.
It's whatever centers you and allows you, to be where and how you need to be. I remember back in the day, let me jump back real quick. When Monica was saying that she would tell the kids, no, these 30 minutes are mine. If you need a permission slip signed, you will not be going on that trip today. If it can't wait 30 minutes. I remember, do y'all remember ever busting into the bathroom when your mom was in the bathroom? Like, I just had, I just bust in there. She could not get a minute to herself. And I feel so bad about that now because I'm a mom. And
Right.
bless her heart, honey, she could not, she couldn't get a minute from me and my siblings, not one,
Hmm.
because we was always under her, and that's
Yeah.
the, you know, but we don't recognize our mothers and the women in our lives as being, we think they always supposed to be there, you
Right.
know.
Hmm.
When I need you,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be there. And I
Superwoman.
Yeah, and I'm guilty
Superwoman.
of that. And like I said,
Right.
I'm really doing some self work because people can't always, they have their own stuff, and we gotta
Mm.
we gotta respect that, and just love on them, because they might
Hmm.
need us just as much as we need them.
Right.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to pull up your book, Letha. So, Letha has a great resource that, and then Monica, would you please share some resources that you have after we talk about
Yeah,
Letha? Let me get
you want me to
Letha's
share
book.
after Letha? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Letha's book because Letha has an amazing story that helped, and she, it was the catalyst to this absolutely awesome book. And I should have brought my book downstairs with me, but I didn't. Go ahead, Letha. Tell us about your journey and what your
Yes.
help was.
Well, about August will be 5 years that I unexpectedly lost my husband to a massive heart attack. Um, and after that happened, I kind of struggled for a while, um, just trying to figure out everything. Um, it just felt like I was just going in circles, going in circles. And so one of my sorors mentioned to me, she said, you know what, you really need a journal. You need a journal. And it's like, I don't need a journal. Not a journal. So anyway, I toiled with the fact every time I picked up pen and pencil to journal, the thoughts just would come. So I just knew that, at that time I just wasn't ready. But in the meantime, I did seek some um, help
Mm-hmm.
um, from the chaplain there on base when I
Mm-hmm.
lived in Japan.
Letha,
And
move
that
over a
was
little bit, sweetie, so we can see your beautiful
here.
face.
Okay, sorry.
We,
But
no,
anyway, I did,
she
I did
chilling.
seek, I did seek help. Yeah, that's what we doing. Aren't we supposed to be chilling?
Yes, ma'am.
So, and that actually helped me to begin journaling. So, long story short, started journaling and decided to turn those journal entries into my story.
Oh.
And the title of my book is called The Unforced Rhythms of Grace. And it just shares my story of losing someone so dear to me, being able to pick up the pieces and being able to move on past that. So that is my story, Unforced Rhythms of Grace, and it's just my story of learning to live again. That when you're going through something like that unexpectedly, and you have children, it's something that I can't even put it into words. But I found that journaling piece, and which turned into my book, just such healing. So that's my story, and I've shared it with. Actually, in my book, I have a section called my sister's story,
Mm-hmm.
and Alon is actually um, given her testimony, and it's a story of love and loss. So it can be for anyone that has gone through divorce and gone through the death of a spouse. So in that, I have my about 4 or 5 of my sisters, different sisters, my girlfriends that have shared their story on love and loss. So,
Yeah, and it's a
mhm.
phenomenal story. For those of you who are interested in purchasing Letha's
I
book,
have
I
it.
just put the link in the chat. Her book is available on Amazon, so please pick up your copy. The
Okay.
Unforced Rhythms of Grace. So, yeah, it will definitely bless you. It will. It really will. Thank you, Letha, so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Monica. Tell us about some resources
Thank
that
you,
you would
Lisa, for
recommend.
that. The writing is absolutely. We tell some kids to just start journaling. Some kids they
Hmm.
draw, some kids write, and it's amazing. And to be able to put that together and have other people heal from it. Thank you
Right.
for that. I got uh, an Instagram account from my youngest daughter. She's in grad school to be
Hmm.
a mental health clinician, and it's called Therapy for Black Girls.
Okay, hold
And
on.
on it,
I'm gonna pull that up. Go ahead.
yeah,
Keep talking.
Therapy
I'm
for
sorry.
Black Girls. If you click on it, it's a resource for all kinds of mental health resources or clinicians and the like. Just get you connected into. So it's heavily, almost 500,000 people are following this site. So
Really?
that's just some. That's a yes. It's a site to get on. And she told me about it a year and a half ago. I'm not really an Instagram person, but I got on immediately.
Mm.
So let me see if I can. You said it's called Therapy for Black
Therapy
Girls.
for yes, yes.
Hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Instagram.
Let me see if I can get to my IG. Um, Let me see. If either of you can go ahead and pull that up and drop that in the chat, that'll be great. I'm going to look at some of these questions or some of the comments here while you're doing that. So, LaShonda, she actually has the book as well, and she said the book will
Oh,
definitely bless your soul. She said, "Thank you, ladies, for being vulnerable and sharing your testimonies to help others." You are welcome, Ladybug. And we had Miss Crawley to join us. Welcome, Miss Crawley. Thank you for joining us. She said, Letha, congratulations on such a wonderful book.
Thank
Um, and yeah, so yeah, Lashonda, she really loves that book. It is a good book. It's a really good book. And you know, Letha was here in Japan, and when this, you know, just unexpected tragedy happened, and we felt her pain, you know,
you.
and we just, loved on our sister. We just loved
Y'all
on
are
her.
right. Y'all are right.
Girl, you helped us through so much too. You helped us through so much too. And that's what it takes. It
Takes a
takes
village.
vulnerability.
Hmm.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot. Even um through my most recent medical crisis, I was still trying to be strong through that. You know what I'm saying? It was just unbelievable to me how they rallied around me, and it was like I felt like they were, I was imposing on them.
Yeah.
And that's so weird. We just got to get out of our own head, and
hmm.
like I said,
Hmm.
I'll be the first to admit that I'm working on me. I really am. I'm working on me. Am I where I was a long time ago? And Monica, you know me through baby. We what we're
Yes.
we're cousins, but we're also best friends. I mean, Monica's like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. Yeah, yeah, I know. The cousin who eats up one French fry at a time. Yes, that's my cousin.
It separates the food. They can't touch the food. Can't touch.
Well,
Anyway,
it touches now, but
I
but
know. Oh, good.
so I've evolved. I've evolved. But
Oh, great, great.
yeah, I think this conversation was so rich, y'all. Do y'all have any last things? Let me see if we got some more comments. And next time, y'all, I promise you, I will be able to get your comments up on screen once I get this technology figured out. I'm working on some things here. Maya, thank you for joining us, Maya. That's Letha Soror.
Ah, hello.
She's she says she's enjoying the program. She says such a great
Oh,
program, ladies. Um, but
thank you.
any last words? I'm gonna let y'all go to because I know y'all got to go to bed and I got to start my day again. It seems like it never ends. But
Right. Mhm.
so, Letha, any last words?
No, I'm just gonna say, you know, to those listeners out there, if any of this, if you feel some kind of way, please just reach out, just talk to someone. I think it's just that conversation, it starts from there. You gotta open up and and I know that sometimes they can be really, really hard when you feel like you are on an island by yourself. But you gotta surround yourself with people, and you're going through something, just talk. Just try to talk. And I think this is good that we're having this dialogue and talking to each other and trying to navigate through all of this to figure out what's going on. And to get, like you said in the beginning, we're no professionals to that degree, but this is just sister talk. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I see one of my sisters feeling some kind of way, I need to be there for them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Thank you, Monica. Any?
I would just say that um, just ask. Just the first thing, just ask. Begin to ask for help.
right.
Have conversations like this. Spread this Facebook post or whatever. How is it? It's like a pebble. It's a ripple, and continue to talk about it.
Mhm.
It's the simplest things. You don't know that they make the most powerful impact.
Yeah.
Um, when I just to hear Letha's story, and you go, okay, and people recognize their story when they hear your story. They
Mhm.
recognize, okay, and it's a part of the experience that we live on this planet. So I just say,
Yeah.
ask, connect, support each other. I like that Sisters Talking is a way that women are supporting women. We don't always see that
Right.
in the media anywhere. I'm just loving that. And so th- mimic this, mimic this. Let me talk. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk. Have a conversation about it, or what have you. Um, and thank you, Aline. Thank you, Letha.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Oh,
Alana.
this.
thank you, ladies. Thank you guys for agreeing to talk because y'all know me well. Let's just put it out there. I can talk.
We know this. We know this.
So, is that a little shade? No, but
Yeah,
she said we
we
know
keep that
this.
100.
But if our conversation can be a conversation that other people can resonate with and benefit from, then I'm down with
Yes.
it.
Right.
I'm
Hmm.
always open to sharing any information that I come across that may be able to help somebody. That's just who I am and how I am.
Hmm.
And sometimes people don't necessarily want to receive any information. They're not asking you for any information. But
That's okay.
I don't want to be the one person to
Right.
not say something and something happen. It's just I feel like not on my
Right.
watch,
Right.
even if it's not my watch.
Right.
um I just feel like I just want to be able to share that, and I'm glad that we did get a chance to have this conversation as well. um I was gonna say something, I forgot. Oh, we got some hearts, y'all. Y'all, look, I'm gonna get these reactions up on the screen next time, I
I love
promise you.
it.
um Miss Crawley said, ladies, I'm feeling so proud. Oh, she said, it's nothing
Thank
like being a
you.
strong, black, intelligent woman in the world today. Um, Thank you, Miss Crawley. Now
Thank you.
she's a beast in the classroom. Those babies, they definitely,
Kindergartners. Uh-huh.
yes, yes. Can y'all see
Hmm.
the hearts on the screen? Are they coming up on the screen?
I can't see them.
I don't know. Y'all pray for me with this technology thing here. Um, but yeah, she said, I'm just saying, don't judge me. But but yeah,
Nobody.
we are done with this episode of Sisters Talking, and next time we're gonna have to flip the time zone so I can grab my glass of wine. I know I could have had wine in the morning, but then that would have been another conversation for another day, Monica, because you'd be like, okay, baby, you drinking in the morning?
Oh, no, no, no. Mimosa is the
Oh,
word.
There you
mimosa.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
no
mhm,
wine.
mhm. Oh
All
my.
right.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for taking time out of
Yes.
your busy Saturday or early Sunday morning, whichever it is for you, wherever you are. Um, we truly appreciate you, and I hope that this conversation has helped someone. It helped anybody understand the situation with Black women and our mental health. We will be tuning in on another episode of Sisters Talking some other time. Just stay tuned, follow us, and we will. Oh, do y'all have socials that y'all want people to follow you on, or what if people want to get in touch with you?
Um,
Facebook, Instagram. Okay, y'all just
I thought
tag me. I,
tag her, 'cause
yeah, just tag
Woo.
me,
Right.
and I'll get it to them, because I don't know, whether y'all want people like reaching out to you or not. So
absolutely I do. I just don't know what to tell you. I froze like a deer in the headlights. I have Twitter. I don't know what the name of it is. I have Instagram. I don't know what the name is. The children pick the name. So
okay, well
You
then,
said it, children.
so, so you can just drop it in the chat of this
please do.
post so that people can reach out to you. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you,
Okay.
ladies, for
You're
joining
Thank
me.
you,
welcome.
ladies.
All right.
Thank
And we
you.
will chat soon. Let me get a little exit going.